Fiesta night at the races at Berlin Raceway. I'm Matt McKenzie, joined by George Keene. It was a cool summer afternoon and evening. We got a lot of great racing in tonight, George.
You're being generous with cool. It was cold, buddy.
Let's talk about sportsman racing first. Jerry Shepard, Comstock Park native, been racing since 1980. Won the last race of the year last year. Comes back second a week, 2 weeks ago, and now picks up another one tonight for the sportsman.
And it was a tremendous battle. He just didn't walk away with it. He had to fight the whole race to finish with the win.
Fantastic sportsman group. As always, put on another great show in the sportsman tonight. Engine Pro Super Talk, Scotty Root, what a battle he had with Seth Moody towards the end. 3 or 4 guys could have won that race, George, but at the end of the day, to bumper, side to side on the last turn, Scotty Root comes home to victory lane to the number 15.
And Seth Moody at the end of the race went over and congratulated him and kept on going.
He said he would have liked to have it finish side by side, but all in all, a pretty good race. And
exactly.
For the first showing of the year, the Engine Pro Super Stocks put on an epic battle. Late model racing at Berlin Raceway, at least with the super late models, George. Now 2 split features, 35 laps apiece.
And it's finally sinking in, I think, with the fans that we're doing 2 races every week. But the competitors, we thought they'd hold back a little bit in the first race and not race as hard. By God, that first race was just as good as the second.
Let's talk about Joe Bush, the driver now that has semi-retired twice, come back and race for his daughter Lauren, who is here tonight, expecting child at any moment, comes home with a fantastic win in the 101 car. And Aaron Hewlings, who picked up his first feature win ever just a couple weeks ago, finishes second in the first race.
Yeah, and it was a good race to watch. And Aaron Hewlings came from way back to finish in second.
Let's talk about the second race. Chris Kozlik, who had been leading the first race, found himself heartbreaking with the tire going down with just 7 laps to go and had to pull it in the pits. But in feature race number 2, not the case. Kozlik led it almost from beginning to end as the result of version had a great finish. And Joe Bush ends up coming home a second. Fantastic run, too, for Johnny Van Dorn, only to fall out with just 3 laps to go after running fast time.
And he fell to the back quickly from almost leading it back to 8th or 9th place. I think he ended up finishing 10th. But the battle at the front of the field was good, and you couldn't call a winner. It was that close.
It was that close. Fantastic racing for the super late models this year. Really looking forward to them for their next race in a few weeks. And let's talk about the Kalamazoo Vapor 4-cylinders. Cole Roloffs came from mid-pack. He was racing with his brother and his cousin, came up there, thought he had it won, had a caution flag, restarted. All of a sudden, last year's champion, Corey Holtzlander, is up there, and now he's battling again for the lead. He gets passed by Corey with just a few laps to go.
And the people that were listening to us had to think we were stuttering, because first, second, third, and fourth were roll-off. So it was a good race to watch, and Cole earned it. I mean, he worked hard to get that win.
At the end of the day, it was just by a bumper at the start-finish line. Cole Roloffs wins his first 4-cylinder feature race of the 2017 season, complete with the dog, English Bulldog, in victory lane.
Yeah, we can't forget to mention the dog. When we had him on the show Wednesday night, he said, well, when we go racing, we ask the dog if he'd like to go, and if he comes downstairs, he wants to go. If he doesn't come downstairs, we leave.
And the rest is history.
There you go.
The dog was in victory lane. And let's talk about the mini wedge division. That's new to Berlin this year, all the way from 6 to 9-year-olds and 12 to 14-year-olds. Chase Strunk wins the first feature race, and Tony Caputo, as part of the Racing Awareness Group, wins feature race number 2 during the midpoint at the action at Berlin on Fiesta night. Brought to you by
Quick Time Burritos and Tacos of Wyoming, Michigan.
Glad to have them along. Let's talk about next week. It's Ladies' Night at Berlin Raceway with the Musty Racing Sprint Cars and more in action. All ladies, all ages get in free. Tickets available more at berlinraceway.com. We'll see you at the races.